Hello, everyone. Yes, I am doing a live stream on New Year's Eve, similar to how I did a little while ago. What's going on here? So you may have noticed that there is a something new on the screen. I hope it's not too distracting. But what you're looking at here is a timer, a countdown. Yeah, heading into 2026, and yeah, this will be the last episode of Sketch Jam for 2025, and I am, yeah, honestly, honestly looking forward to it, if I'm quite frank and honest. Now, if you guys were watching yesterday, I was working on this sketch. Well, it's more of a finished art piece at this point. Yesterday, well, over the course of yesterday and today, like, I don't like getting technical because to me, you know, night still feels like night even when it's early morning. I'm just hardwired like that. I'm not alone in that. Interpretation of time. You know how each of us perceives time. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? At the end of the day, the cool thing about this particular live stream is that not only am I ringing in the new year, but I can sort of just sort of hit the ground running with my content going into 2026. Because that's the thing, like, never really has there been a more hopeful and energetic display of what I like to call embracing, taking the bull by the horns, new year, new me kind of mentality. At least that's how I see it. So I hope everyone who is tuning in, I fully understand if you don't for very long, because it's just me by myself, still slowly working on the same drawing I've been putting together over the last couple of days. Like, if you guys are more excited about the prospect of the fireworks that are going to go off in under 25 minutes, if you're in Australia, that is. And by in Australia, you have to be on the east coast where the majority of the population lives, and you have to be in that particular time zone. Otherwise, it's not going to make any difference to you whatsoever. I genuinely believe that 2026 is really the turning point year where everything kind of gets ramped up. You know, the United States will be celebrating its, I think it's like 250th birthday. So from 1776 to 2026, that's, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a huge, monumental time to be alive. Like Donald Trump as president. And the country, like the US, is how old, you know? It's like, whoa. That's a big deal, you know? I also have to fix her shoes. I gave her platform heels when she really she does wear heels, but they're nowhere near this high. Like these are the wrong style of shoe. Also, if I can get my viewer stats on YouTube to sort of go up a little bit, that'd be great too. Been working pretty diligently on sort of building the old YouTube channel. I will have more content, especially for next year. I've got a whole raft of stuff planned. So 2026, I like to think is already spoken for in many regards. It's just going to be an amazing year. Like this year was already amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. Becoming a dad for the first time, yeah, that has been like that's when my life peaked. Like I can't really think of anything else I did before then that really compares to it. And it's weird, you know, like I thought I kind of had this sort of whole being adult thing for the most part figured out, but there's still so much to factor in, you know. Because, like, hang on. Just gonna do a quick sound check. You can never be too sure. Never too sure. Just checking the sound. Don't mind me. Okay, yep, looks like, yes, we're good in terms of sound, so I don't need this anymore. One thing I will take into account going into next year is I will start using a proper microphone, because it's very echoey in here, and that's a problem. I have found that is a bit of an issue, so yeah, I'll set up a dedicated microphone so it won't sound like I'm in an echo chamber. Oh wow, we've only got 17 minutes to go. Hope everyone is excited. See, the best part about like ringing in the new year in Sydney or in Australia just in general is it is a hot country, you know? There's something about just this kind of celebration in the summertime that just makes sense. Like, I do not fault the amount of tourists that are here right now who have made sure to line up and get their picnic spot down on, you know, either Circular Quay or in like the main areas of Darling Harbour tonight. Because yeah, look, that location just makes sense, you know? Like this time last year, I was actually working in Circular Quay. I was booked for a live event. That's not the case this year. And look, I don't miss it. To be perfectly frank, I do not. I do not miss it. Yeah, I kind of miss it. Like making money and feeling important are big key motivators for me. But anyway. 14 minutes to go. Will I have this finished in time to say Happy New Year? Something tells me I think I will. Also, this particular live stream was only ever going to be a short one as well. Like the one I did last night went on, I think, a little too long, if I'm honest. I don't like sort of doing ponderous long live streams. There's another YouTuber that I sort of stumbled upon by accident earlier in the year, and like, very strange individual, but I have not seen a more dedicated career YouTuber in a long time. Like, this guy would upload content pretty much 24/7. Like, he'd, pre-record stuff, he'd edit it. He'd spend all his time editing. He'd block record a whole bunch of stuff, and he would go live. I'm pretty sure he still does. He would go live for somewhere between a minimum of 5 and 12 hours. Like, the guy was just an absolute machine, and pretty sure he still is. The problem with the guy, and if you are in the chat and you know who I'm talking about, just like no prizes for who guesses who I'm actually referring to here, but if you know who I'm talking about, like, feel free to chime in. But yeah, his content is just endless, like, streams of consciousness, and it's all negative, it's all self-pitying, it's all him just finding reasons to feel miserable. And when he doesn't really have anything sort of concrete or like really strong to latch onto and really kind of obsess over, he will go and find stuff on various different news aggregate sites. He will find that and he will complain about that. Like, it's a very tortured existence this dude has. And the thing is, in his heart of hearts, he knows it does not have to be this way, and he's just basically making his life miserable and needlessly complicated for no discernible reason. It's like, he's suffering from male pattern baldness, and he struggles to make friends, and he's got nothing going on romantically, and he's unemployed, but he's extremely dedicated. Like, he knows what he's doing, and his stuff is very good in terms of quality of output and everything. But the problem is, the content is just relentless self-pity. It's just nauseating, and I'm like, dude, as a fellow baldy, I can appreciate what you're going through, and the minute you stop caring about the fact that you're bald is the minute everybody else kind of follows suit. Like, there will always be kind of a stigma involved. I almost said sigma. There'll always be like a stigma involved with male pattern baldness, because it feels like it should never happen. You come to be very acquainted and love having a full head of hair as a man, and then your genetic time bomb starts going off, and next thing you know, you just start going into old man mode almost overnight. It's like, a few hairs, here and there, nothing, to worry about. And all of a sudden, it just starts to ramp up. Like, I remember I actually started going bald in high school, but I didn't realize it at the time because it was so, like, I always had such, like, thick and luxurious and, honestly, gravity-defying hair. Like, I had a very majestic afro for a long time. That I always used to get comments like, "Oh, you're never gonna go bald." If you've got curly hair, it's much less likely and everything like that. And man, was everybody wrong who said those kind but misleading words. And it's like, I didn't just go bald. I went like aggressively bald. So much so that this, what you see here, that's a bit of movie magic right there. But I digress. The thing about this guy is, like, he is so, he craps on about being kind of, almost victimized by his genetics. Like, it's like, oh man, it's like, I'm bald and I'm ugly and like nothing ever works out for me and yada yada. And I'm just like going, yeah. Look, bald men are playing life in hard mode. That's just what it is for us, like finding a woman who's, not that worried about how our hair looks because it won't grow in the place where it's supposed to grow, it actually becomes a little bit challenging. Finding a solution that doesn't involve a trip to, Istanbul to attempt to save what we still have. There's a lot of work involved. And if you don't mind, if you've got like a solid work ethic, and again, I'll just repeat what I said. This guy has a solid work ethic. He's very dedicated. I like that about him. He's a very competent and like you can see it. You can tell that he's got a fire in his belly and he knows what he's going for. That's what I like about him. I think he's a very I think he heavily underestimates himself, and it's so sad to see because I'm just like, dude. You've got to start being your own best friend. That's how this works. Ooh, 5 minutes. 5 minutes until the countdown, people. Like, dude, you do not have to take life as a zero-sum game. And I genuinely think that there's like this ache, this real pathology behind not having what you want or what you think you deserve. And I think that's genuinely getting on the nerves of a lot of, otherwise very well accomplished people. And it's sad to see. Speaking of sad to see, I've gotten this footwear so incredibly incorrect. Must have been looking at it from a distance. I'll be right back. I just realized how hot it's actually getting in here. I've got basically all my devices going at once. So I've got my main. I would show you on the camera, but it's I have to lift up the entire laptop to show you. But right here, right this way, there's my main gaming computer. Right up there, like in that top corner, that's where the countdown is. I've actually got a spare screen, and either side of me I've got two just like spare computers that I never really wanted to get rid of. I've had these other two computers, I'm talking too much, but I've had these other two computers for over a decade now. One of them still has a CD drive. Like I can still play and watch CDs and DVDs. I have not watched or played a CD or a DVD in probably a decade now. Okay, maybe not that long, but man, it's been a while. And like I miss old technology, but I just can't see myself going back to it. Like there's another YouTuber who, unfortunately, he also gets on my nerves, and like a lot of these YouTubers that I follow, they have made like complaining their bread and butter, their fait accompli, and I'm just like, oh, for God's sake, why are you so upset about everything? It's just a movie, or it's just a TV show, and like realistically, I should absolutely adore their content, but a lot of it just comes across now as like sour grapes. It's like, yeah, you know one of the other main reasons why you're so not into Star Wars? You're pushing 50. I get that Star Wars came out when you were an actual kid, but at some point, like, letting Star Wars sort of as a, piece of nostalgia, something that you enjoyed in your childhood, letting that just kind of settle as something you used to enjoy, I think would do you a way bigger service than what you currently are experiencing. Because it's a weird thing, I'll reselect this. Oh, hang on. Here we go. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Yeah! Happy New Year, guys. Everyone in Australia, everyone who's tuning in tonight. Statistically, all three of you. Happy New Year. Wow. 2026. And I can hear it just off in the distance. Because I don't live that far away from the city. I'm only about a half-hour drive. I can actually hear the distant thunder of the fireworks going off. Wow. Gee whiz. the first couple of minutes of a fledgling new year. Now I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but you can actually hear the fireworks. Man. Yeah, I honestly feel no different. That's the interesting thing. Like I grew up listening to the U2 song. Nothing changes on New Year's Day. You know, all is quiet on New Year's Day, and it's true. Like I I'm I am literally the same guy I was. You know, 4.5 minutes ago. Anywho, I will, yeah, soldier on now. Just messaging people, wishing them a happy new year, and yeah, I will be 43 this year, which is bit of a milestone. I kind of wish it was under slightly less strange circumstances, but who knows? So as of now, as of today, everyone can relax, everyone can chill, everyone can just sort of enjoy being in Australia and things being relatively okay for a grand total of 24 hours. Then things will start just ramping up again. Which is a good question. Hey Grok, what time does Chinese New Year start?
Chinese New Year always kicks off at midnight on the first day of the lunar calendar. For 2026, that's the night of January 28th, turning into January 29th, year of the Fire Horse. So wherever you are, it officially starts at 12 a.m. local time on January 29th, 2026. In China and most of East Asia, the big celebrations and family reunions usually ramp up on the evening of the 28th, New Year's Eve, with fireworks at midnight.
Okay, thank you, Grok.
No problem.
So yeah, looks like the Lunar New Year is starting in this month as well, but it won't be until like the end of the month. So yeah, we got a bit of a wait until then. But that does mean that January is going to be, reasonably full on. So I've gotta go get my car fixed. So I thought about it for a while, and I just came to the conclusion that I would rather just hold on to my car for another year to 2 years potentially, instead of, going out and buying a new one. And I think it just boils down to an abundance of caution, and the fact that I just don't want to. It's a funny feeling. Like, I don't want to throw something away that can just be sort of fixed to the point where it's good to go a little bit longer. So I had a whole roadmap for Sketch Jam. And I'm gonna actually start to implement it. First of all, I wanna just get a copy of this color. I love her palette. Like, she's got a wonderful color palette. It's like there's lots of earth tones, there's lots of blood, there's lots of grit, there's lots of she feels very much like Roman Centurion. This is what I love about this particular character, because she is just beautifully designed. And she's fun to play. My God, is Vendetta fun to play. So yeah, going into the new year, I have expanded out my what's it called? Oh, no. See, technically speaking, it's only New Year's on this half of the world. They're still waiting on the other side, so I like to think that there's like a delay. There's like 2 New Years. Like Asia and Australia, like Oceania. By Oceania, I just mean Australia. I mean, the first major country to celebrate New Year's is New Zealand. And then everyone else, pretty much. So I thought about, what would I like to see in the new year? You know what I mean? Like, what would really like scratch that itch as in terms of culture? What would I like, honestly, to bear witness to changing? And a few things, like, obviously, I think superhero movies are not quite done just yet. Like, I think superhero movies are in the process of pivoting towards being something even better than what they used to be. Like, there's a lot of experimental stuff, and I think that time in, like, Marvel and DC, and just like any, like I think Sony also makes superhero movies as well. I think the experimental phase is over. Like, they all wanted to sort of see, hey, can we try to gamble and get like a bigger audience than what we already have by annoying the audience that they already have? And it was such a shocking turn of events that it basically caused Warner Brothers to, go out of business. The thing is, like, I've bought shares in that company. Like, I was like, I think Warner Brothers is actually pretty cool. And like, their shares were like really, really cheap. Like, I was buying for like, $20 each. Ended up like buying a whole bunch of them. And then I get this letter saying, we would like to buy your shares. And I'm like, ooh, that's pretty cool. I've never had that kind of offer before. And yeah, I was just fascinated by it. It's weird because, like, for the longest time, I really did not understand that part of like how money actually works. Like I went out and you ever just sort of get a bit annoyed with yourself and you just go and sort of aggressively purchase a bunch of self-help books? Like, that's what I did. That is literally what I did. I went out and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy myself a physical copy of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'm going to read the whole thing. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. I kind of got distracted by the holiday season, but I actually sat down, opened it up, and read pretty much every page. I've got a couple of chapters left to go, but and just those like little life lessons that Robert Kiyosaki peppers into his experience. Like, it's just sort of like a little snapshot of his life as a young man and as a kid, and growing up kind of poor in Hawaii, and then going on to significantly bigger and better things. And it's just like, it's an interesting read. Like, obviously he has his detractors and people that say, oh, the book's crap, yada yada yada. But I'm just like, look, I've got it in audio form. I've got that on the Audible app on my phone, and I've got it as a physical copy. I like the idea of physical copies of books, just for the simple fact that, like, if the servers go down, if everything gets switched off overnight for whatever reason, if there's like an electromagnetic pulse that just knocks everything off the grid for however long, there are still physical copies of books. Like, I'm not so worried about like things like DVDs or whatever, because those still require like specific technology to run. Although I am very enamored with the idea of having a VHS player again. I'm not like clamoring for it, Like, there's a few channels that I actually follow. One on TikTok. He's an actor and he's a collector, and he collects a lot of vintage media, and most of it is on the old like VHS cassette tapes and stuff. And he's got this massive collection, and like, he takes very good care of his tapes. He's obviously a member of some kind of tape restoration club. He's very, very keenly aware of their growing value as a commodity, because when something is sort of mass produced and then sort of never again after a certain period of time, it automatically just becomes intrinsically valuable. Like, that's just how humans are. We always have like hang on. Ugh, I do not like this song. too heavy metal. I'm kind of tempted to give her a big sort of aquiline nose. Make her look like one of the Jersey Shore girls. And yes, I am showing my age by referencing a reality show like that. Like, Jersey Shore was one of those weird moments in like pop culture where I just sort of came to hate reality TV. Like, there are really only a handful of reality TV shows that I've ever liked. And from like the ones that I loved, the ones that I can watch again, like the ones that like I enjoyed, and the ones that I can always watch again no matter what, and they'll always cheer me up, and I always love watching them. And that is Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. What's another one? It's another reality show that I like. Like I said, the list is actually really, really short. And I really like Impractical Jokers and Kenny vs. Spenny. Now, Kenny vs. Spenny is the oldest of all of those. It came out in like the early 2000s. And the guys that originally started it, they're in like their late 50s, early 60s at this point. Like, and that's pretty much where their careers peaked. Like, they've never really done anything substantial on that level ever again. And yeah, man, I keep coming back to Kenny versus Spenny, and I love every bit of it. There's only one episode that I don't like, and that's Who Can Drink More Beer. And Spenny gets very aggressively drunk, and it's actually honestly a little bit sad to watch. And not sad haha, like not sad funny, but sad like, I think Spenny has like a lot of like pent up issues and stuff, and he just seems genuinely at his wit's end. Like, that's a man who's hurting, you know what I mean? But like, Kenny is so ruthless and so amazing at being an entertainer that show has aged like a beautiful fine wine. Like, I am such a fan of Kenny versus Spenny. Like, I've got family over in Canada, particularly in Toronto, and I actually, the next time I'm over there, I actually want to visit the filming locations, particularly the house, if it's still around. Like, the sort of the ground zero, the headquarters of Kenny versus Spenny when it was being filmed. It was mostly done in their house. Like they, had this big sort of mansion. And yeah, like it was, it was a fascinating show. And from what I can tell, there's really nothing like it that's ever been like made since. I mean, Impractical Jokers, don't get me wrong, fantastic. I love it. There's bits of Impractical Jokers that I am absolutely 100% a fan of. Like my ex-girlfriend, she turned me on to Impractical Jokers, and for that I am eternally grateful. In fact, on one of our first dates, we went and saw one of the guys from the show live. He was touring Australia, and he did a whole like stand-up comedy thing at one of our local theatre complexes out in the inner west. And oh man, I haven't been there in years, and I loved that. Every minute of it was fantastic. I am so grateful. It's such an amazing year. Like that's the thing, I can't really stay mad at the past, because the present and the future is just so cool and interesting, and I will admit, distracting as hell. I mean, that's not an indictment or anything, it's just how it is. I watched this YouTube video about why, of all the creatures in the Fallout series of games, cats aren't really a thing. And it got me thinking, is like, why domestic cats would not have mutated or like, gone through some kind of, change after the entire world was blanketed in, the plot device that is the Fallout universe. And like, when it comes to like analyzing Fallout, the temptation to sort of attribute real world physics and biology to like the wasteland doesn't work. Like, in a way, there are some plausible similarities with science fiction and how the world really is, but the whole point of Fallout is the understanding of how like nuclear radiation caused by war is understood is through the lens of urban myth. Like, no, that's like none of it would make any sense. Like, realistically, like radiation at that level just kills everything. You're not running through the glowing sea wearing nothing but your knickers and expecting to survive on Radaway. No, you just burn to a crisp and you never get up. Like, there's so much in the Fallout universe that is antithetical to everything we understand, or even, can make an educated guess about when it comes to how radiation works. Because, again, it's pure imagination. there's no there's no there. And the thing is, season 2 of Fallout has just gone on to Amazon Prime, and I still haven't watched it. And I know I should, because it's kind of the homework assignment I've set for myself. And yeah, I need to get on that. I'm more looking forward to, what's it called? Invincible. The next season of that coming out. Because the whole bunch of like new characters and everything, like the show is just becoming more and more like an American version of Dragon Ball Z. Like, it really is. I mean, Invincible himself is just basically Goku or Gohan, and Goku is Omni-Man. But what if it's kind of like, okay, what if we have these characters, and what if they're evil? Basically, that's all it boils down to. Like, I love the Invincible show. It's absolutely fabulous. Like, it's friggin' amazing. Like, I can binge that entire show more than once. And as we are officially on New Year's Day, I'm thinking of doing that. Like, just everyone's on holiday. Everyone has a rostered day off. Nobody except, people who work at McDonald's and in emergency services are considered indispensable. Like, paramedics and hospitals and doctors will be on call because they have to be, but as for me, as a freelance illustrator specializing in caricatures, I'm good. I don't have to be anywhere or do anything, and my God, I don't have to spend any money. It's fantastic. I mean, as the years roll by, things are obviously going to ramp up and become, increasingly more challenging, I think is the word. I'm kind of enjoying like this sort of downtime. Anyway, we're just gone over the hour mark. And I'm very happy with how this one has turned out. I've actually got a few things that I want to add to Sketch Jam, but for now, give me just a minute, guys. I'm just trying to find my... here we go. The old please stand by. I'm just going to expand this out just so it fits the screen. Obviously, this is not going to work with the if you're watching me on mobile, very sorry for doing this on the fly, but yeah, I wasn't prepared. So anyway, I will be right back. So yeah, don't go anywhere. just not a fan of most of these songs. They're too heavy for what I'm doing here. Kind of want to get some sort of, I don't know. I want to get some, what's it called, yacht rock. So I've got a list of things I want to sort of throw into the mix here. I hope everyone is well and safe and all that. Just a quick announcement, the next live stream I'll be doing won't be until I think on Tuesday, the 6th, so look out for that. I'll be back to like my normal programming and whatever. I've got a couple of overseas trips, and I've got a whole bunch of new stuff. Excuse me. So no guesses as to who I'm drawing here. I just realised how massive the chat box actually is on the mobile version. Just give me a minute, guys. Reduce that just a teeny bit. So it's not too much in the way. See, the interesting thing about the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch is, like this part here, like the Grinch's muzzle. I mean, it had these holes in it that looked like, the pits on the upper lip of like dogs and cats. And those are actually breathing holes. So like the little nose, if you look at it closely, like um, the nose on the Grinch mask that Jim Carrey wears, it is sort of functional, but he actually breathes through the holes where the whiskers would go. Like the version I've never actually seen, like the old version of the Grinch that I've never like seen in its entirety is the old one from like the 1960s. It was fully animated and directed by Chuck Jones. The one with the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch" is that one. So I like drawing different expressions. Like when you're drawing eyes, one of the things that's always important to remember is they have to look like they could have an otherworldly, like the eyes themselves should have their own kind of personality as well. So the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch, it took a lot of inspiration from the Chuck Jones version. So he's always taught like there's this close up scene of his mouth, and like his teeth aren't moving that much. Like his jaw is sort of moving a little bit, but he's talking through gritted teeth. So he's like scheming. He's like whoa, and like the lips and like the muscles around the jaw are doing most of the work when he's talking. Like he's muttering to himself. I think I made this one a little bit too frightening. Or maybe not frightening enough. Because the character of the Grinch has sort of become. They've softened him quite a lot, and he's become more of a. He's nowhere near as villainous. And in many respects, the Grinch has kind of overtaken, like, Jack Skellington and The Nightmare Before Christmas in terms of, like, popularity. And the way Chuck Jones used to draw, like, expressions and stuff, like, he always had this flair for exaggeration and drawing in this kind of interestingly organic way. Like, he could sort of capture certain expressions, like even micro expressions, that I've never seen any other, like, animator really be able to do in such a beautiful way, except for maybe Genndy Tartakovsky. Yeah, for some reason, Hotel Transylvania, I absolutely adore that movie. Like, the whole series is fantastic. Like, each installation has a really positive lesson attached to it. And honestly, and this is not like a controversial opinion at all. I genuinely believe that the Hotel Transylvania series is by far the best thing that Adam Sandler has ever done. There's also the movie Elf, which is what's his name, Will Ferrell. I think that's pretty cool. What is it? The movie Krampus that came out. One thing I have noticed about like just anything from the Northern Hemisphere when it comes to like Christmas and like this particular holiday is most of like, you know, the celebrations that happen that time and particularly the songs to kind of cheer people up. I want to sort of have him like trudging triumphantly, or even, you know, I always pictured him more as a as like a green tiger. really have him determined. Oh, excuse me. I just realised something. I am probably way more tired than I'm letting on. So yeah, guys, thank you once again for being, my viewers, subscribing, following, just stopping by to check out what it is that I'm trying to accomplish here. I appreciate all of it. You guys have been amazing. As of the 1st of January 2026, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise, and all that good stuff. And I would just like to extend a warm welcome to everyone on Twitch, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, and eventually I will figure out how to get this working on TikTok and Kick as well. So I'll be like simulcasting to all the platforms that I'm signed to. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna sort of keep Sketch Jam as a either once or twice weekly thing. I don't particularly want to be putting it too many episodes, because it actually does a fair number of my voice, just constantly talking and just sort of yammering out, usually to nobody, but to anybody out there who is just lurking in the comment section and just likes the idea of having me on in the background while they exercise or try to figure out what subscription services to cancel and which to subscribe to. Subscribe to me. That's the best one to subscribe to. That's subscription services are always welcome. But I digress. Next live stream will either be on Tuesday or Thursday. I'm not going to be doing quite so many outside of that schedule. I really want to keep it to the 1 to 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays if I can. If not, the special ones will be on public holidays, for instance. So we do have one coming up on the 26th, which will be Australia Day, and on the 29th, which will be Chinese New Year. But aside from that, that's it for me. I will see you when I see you. And once again, guys,